How to get unlimited clients on Upwork. My name's Gavin. I run an email and SMS marketing agency, and I have generated, as it currently stands, about $120,000 in revenue on Upwork specifically, and I've generated a bunch of revenue off of the platform. Now, I've made a bunch of videos like this where I document my journey as an agency owner and my strategies to getting leads, both on Upwork and off of Upwork as well. So check out the channel. There's a bunch of cool free resources. There are really three core pillars to getting work on Upwork. Number one is making sure that your profile is optimized and dialed in, meaning you fill out every single section that Upwork gives you to fill out as a freelancer, right, or as an agency. And also having case studies, a video recorded on your profile. The second pillar is making sure that you have social proof, which is hard to get when you first start on Upwork. You need to complete jobs initially to get more work in the future. I'm gonna show you my strategy for that too. And then the third pillar is actually consistently applying for work. And I use a tool called Gig Radar to get that work. Full transparency, I'm an affiliate of that tool and the link is in the description. So check that out. It does help me a little bit if you end up using the tool. But let's break down those three pillars really quickly. So the first one is making sure that your profile is dialed in. Now go on to Upwork and look at my profile. Type in Gavin Hewitson and you'll see my profile pop up and you'll see what an optimized profile actually looks like. It basically has a description of your profile and what you do that matches the ICP, the ideal client profile that you're going after. For me, it's email and SMS marketing. On that profile, I have a bunch of keywords and descriptions that talk about my skills as an email and SMS marketer, specifically for e-commerce businesses. So in that description, I am an email marketer that gets 0% spam complaint rates, and I help e-commerce businesses generate more revenue through the use of email and SMS marketing. Check out my profile, I go into a lot more depth. So I have the description listed out, right? I have a good profile picture. That's massive. I also have my location set to where my clients are, the US, because that's where I'm based. Then I also have a bunch of other stuff in that profile as well. Case studies. I've created particular case study documents that I list on my Upwork. I also have an intro video on my profile that talks about how I can help people with their email and SMS marketing. And another thing that has really helped me is having a link to my YouTube channel. Believe it or not, YouTube, I only have like 660 subscribers on my email marketing channel, but the social proof that having a YouTube channel builds when it comes to a prospect seeing you on Upwork is insane. Like, I've gotten so many calls and people saying the only reason we're chatting is because I loved your YouTube channel. I'm a small channel. My content is really good on YouTube, but there's something about being behind a camera and speaking about what you know that just builds people's trusts so much more than any other medium. More than Twitter, more than having a following on LinkedIn, more than having a big website with a bunch of blog articles. Speaking as an expert from a video format like this has benefits that I can't compare. It's insane, right? So even if you have a YouTube channel with like 3 videos, having that linked in your profile is gonna really skyrocket your really your reply rate, but also your booking rate for the calls. So that's number one, having a fully dialed in profile. Number 2 is having social proof. Social proof comes in the form of other people having worked with you and giving you good reviews. Now, when you first start on Upwork, you don't have any of that. It's really hard to get. The reality is you're gonna need to do jobs when you first start on Upwork at a lower rate than what you're used to. My hourly rate outside of Upwork is $150. When I first started on Upwork, I was charging $10 an hour. Some of my jobs were worth like 200 bucks in total, 20 hours of work. Normally I would charge about 3 grand for something like that, but on Upwork I was charging 200. I wasn't making any money initially. What I was doing is I was building up the social proof first for other customers who are like, okay, Gavin got a 5-star review and it's appealing to people who haven't seen me before in a profile that doesn't have any reviews. The reality is you need to charge at a lower rate than what you're worth. But 2, it's also appealing to Upwork's algorithms. You have to keep in mind, you're playing to please both the clients that you're pitching to, but also Upwork's algorithms in terms of where Upwork puts you in the bidding process when you send proposals. When you first start, you both need to prove to people that you can do the work, and if you can't do that, you need to do it at a discounted rate. And you also need to show Upwork that you're able to get high client satisfaction. And Upwork's gonna see that by getting those positive reviews. So when you first start, you need to work at a lower rate than what you're worth. It sucks, but that's the reality of it. And it's no different actually from when you spend ads. For example, if I spend $1,000 on ads to get one client, right, that pays me $2,000, I'm effectively getting a client getting a gross profit of $1,000 off of that. So I'm actually working at a discounted rate anyway, but I'm doing it on Upwork and I'm not spending money on ads, I'm doing it at a discounted rate. It's the same thing. You just need to kind of eat it when you first start on Upwork and ramp your way up. Once you get past 5 to 10 grand in earnings on Upwork's platform, Upwork then starts to look at how much money you can make them. Not whether you can satisfy the client, this is my experience at least, but how much money you can make them. And they're gonna see how much, yes, you're bidding because you have to pay for connects on Upwork to bid on jobs, but also how much of a percentage of the revenue you take from clients that they can get. And they're gonna take roughly 10%. It's gonna vary a little bit. But if I'm able to sell a client at $3,000 a month retainer and somebody else who's equally as qualified is able to get a client at $1,000 a retainer, Upwork, the algorithm, is gonna prioritize me because I'm able to generate them more revenue compared to the other guy who's just as qualified, who can get just as much client satisfaction at $1,000. Upwork's gonna take 10% of that, 100, but at $3,000, they're gonna take 300. So they're gonna prioritize me because I'm able to get both the same level of client satisfaction, but more revenue for Upwork. So initially you have to eat it, prove to Upwork that you can get client satisfaction. Once you prove that, you need to prove that you can make Upwork money. So number 2 is making sure that you actually build up your social proof on Upwork and prove that you can do a good job and make Upwork money. Those are the first 2 pillars. Okay? The third pillar is automating the process of applying for jobs. I use a tool called GigRadar. I'm an affiliate of this tool. So check out the link in the description. If you book a call and you end up becoming a customer, I make money. I want to be fully transparent about all my potential biases here. But I use GigRadar. What GigRadar does is it searches Upwork for jobs that match a criteria that you set. For me, it's email and SMS marketing. And then what I then do is I then take the jobs, the GigRadar tool rather, and it scans for those jobs. And then GigRadar writes an AI proposal based off of my profile and the job description and applies for those jobs. I apply for anywhere between 80 to 100 jobs in a given week. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have time to do that running my own business. And with the proposals that I send, right, I get about a 22% response rate. So for every 100 jobs that I apply for, 22 people will respond positively, and it allows me to just get leads at scale pretty much on autopilot. It's a total beast. I highly recommend you check out this tool. I'm an affiliate of it, full disclaimer, but I use it and it works. Check out my profile, you'll see what I mean. Those are the 3 pillars. Number 1, you need to build up a profile that is optimized. Number 2, you need to start getting that social proof. And number 3, you then need to start automating the process of applying for jobs. As a business owner, I don't have time to apply with customized proposals for 100 jobs a week. Using GigRadar, I do. I actually haven't bid or proposed for a job in about a year and a half now. Upwork has those jobs for me, but GigRadar applies for them automatically. And the only time I come in is when a client responds to my leads. Total game changer. It's moved my agency from like 20K a month to about 79K as of, I think it's 78 to 80K a month as of last month. Highly recommend you check that out. Guys, if you found this video useful, thank you. I make these videos really just to document my own journey, like I said at the start, and to really just share some tips and tricks for people who are in a similar position to me. So if you like it, subscribe. I make a bunch of videos that both talk about Upwork, running an agency, how to get leads outside of Upwork, SEO strategies, LinkedIn strategies, all that good stuff. And I'm a small channel, so comment down below. I'll respond to pretty much every comment or question that you guys have. And from there, hopefully you can start your own journey, both on Upwork, but also running a successful business. Thanks for watching. Check out my resources down below, and I'll see you in the next one.